happening? I don't know how this is going to go. Oh, hello. I was probably just staring into space just then too. Okay. I see something weird on my roof. It's been very rainy. We had 36 mils overnight. So in the last couple of days we've had over 110 mils, which is a lot. So, all right. So I hope you came through that full moon experience okay. I had two very good morning, Selena. How are you? I had two very late phone calls last night, or a very late message and a very late phone call from people that were experiencing some tough times from this full moon. One thing I have to sort of say is that Capricorn or Saturn used to be the ruler of death. We give it to Pluto now because he's the lord of the underworld. But Capricorn and Saturn also does, because he rules time. So, when there's something so Capricornian, so Saturnian, then, that face of Saturn can come through. Good morning, Kara. So, yeah, we can have experiences with the endings of time or, our life purpose being something that we question considerably, like, am I worth being here? Like those really deep sort of questions. So I hope that you managed to pull through these situations okay. I'm glad that people did reach out to me last night because I would never turn away someone that is questioning their own existence in the moment. Like, fuck, I've been there and I appreciate that was I appreciate that the attempts that I made were nothing, or they didn't go anywhere. So and this is a fact of life. When you're young or when you're struggling in general, like your mind can take you to some pretty hardcore places until you actually learn that you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are things that you can manage with practice and awareness. All right, so never let yourself talk yourself into that depth. Like, okay, so public service announcement over. You are worth life. Okay, all right. So today, now this morning we had. Good morning, Susan. How are you? All right, this morning we had the Venus sextile Jupiter. Yay, that's one bright, sparkly thing in the day. It was at 6:30 a.m. It does make people more social. Venus is in Leo, Jupiter in Gemini. That's so much of a let's go out and have a coffee and chat type of thing. So, I mean, it's still hanging around in the air. It's still offering a few unicorn sparkles here, there, and everywhere. All right, so the other things that are happening today. All right, so we've got five massive things happening today. So we had the Venus sextile Jupiter, excuse me, at 8 a.m. We had Mercury square Uranus. So maybe, for those people actually having their day, they might have gone out and chatted socially and come to some realizations that there was a fork in the road and they changed their mind somehow. All right, so yeah, there's a square but it's all around our thoughts. All right, so Jupiter is still in Gemini as well. So with Mercury in Leo moving into, actually, sorry, yeah, Mercury is still in Leo moving into Virgo on Friday. um we've still got these how can I be better thoughts, like I want to be better and brighter. And that Mercury square Uranus is taking us out of those old comfort zones. All right, so same with Saturn. Saturn ruled this full moon, and Saturn's working through our subconscious narrative, day by day. Good morning, Daniel. Oh, I love you so much, Dan. I hope you're not wet on the roof. It's so wet here. All right. So yeah, Saturn's working through that subconscious landscape, while he's in Pisces. And so this is why, our thoughts at this time could have been very, very heavy. Like I said, I'm so grateful that I did have people reach out to me in their time of need, because that's what you must do. If you get to a point in your head where you're like, oh my God, reach out to someone, all right? Because you are not your thoughts, all right? You can always learn to manage your thoughts with knowledge and awareness and practice and wisdom and lessons. And there's so many things that come with experience and age, that can help you just identify and manage your thoughts. Okay, so that Mercury square Uranus might be you pushing outside a box that you've been put in, that may have been comfortable for so long, but it's no longer relevant to who you are. The endings of this full moon were like, that realization that no, that's not the foundation that I'm building my life on anymore. I know better now. All right, wisdom and Saturn. All right, so now that was it. That's just sort of around now. That was at 8 a.m. All right, so the morning has been a little bit funny. All right, so 1 p.m. we have the Sun trine Neptune. Now, in the words I wrote, try to get out in nature, or it's going to be a very dreamy type of time, because Neptune's just adding that little bit of a fog on the things. It's also helping us to maybe want to escape our reality, but I don't feel like it's a negative escape of reality. It's more like daydreaming. All right, it's a trine. They're harmonious. All right. At the same time, the moon is sextile and trine the nodes. All right. So, the more that we sort of go through this day, the more our thoughts are, because the moon's in Aquarius now. Okay. So the moon moved into Aquarius an hour and a half after the full moon at 9:43 p.m. So we've got this ability right now with the moon in Aquarius to sort of stand back a bit and observe. All right. So the more I'm talking, the more I feel like the theme of observation of thoughts is coming through as well. Because when we observe our thoughts, we can detach from the emotional engagement that we have, and we can see the bigger picture. So we don't get so, like I said, emotionally engaged where we're like, oh, other people's opinions, other people's views. Fuck all that. Your view, your future, your mind. Oh, thanks, Deb. Love you too. All right, so that was at, that trine to Neptune was at 1. Now, the next one that comes through, all right, at 1:15 p.m., if you've got to that dreamy place or you've been looking into your mind, good morning, Sally, at 1:15, boom. All right, we have Mars trine Pluto. All right, so Mars is now in Gemini. Here we are in our thoughts again. So it might be like your thoughts have come back online, especially if you are Aries or Scorpio, all right, because they are ruled by Mars, or you have a prominent Mars somewhere. All right, maybe on the angle, maybe on your ascendant, or maybe you've got Aries or Scorpio as your ascendant ruler, whatever. Mars is now back online. Mars is getting up off the lounge, and he is now either a skilled negotiator or he could potentially be shouty man. All right, so Mars trine Pluto. Pluto just, he's retrograde now, going back through Aquarius on his way back into Capricorn. And he's like, all these social injustices that I can see all around me. I want to transform society. Shit needs to change. And Mars is like, I agree. If we get together, we can use our words. And, it's a little bit of a civil war, social uprising type of energy. So if you've sort of floated through your day and you're starting to make these realizations, you might get to this point where you're like, hang on a minute, brah, all right. So there might be a tendency to poke the bear to get shit moving. So depending on, again, where you're at with that Aquarian moon, all right, fucking poke, poke, poke. All right, so 1:15, if you're starting to feel the anger rise, or if you're starting to feel that need to voice your opinion, then just do it in a way that you're not going to destroy the tower. You're going to actually, you know, point out things where people can't deny what you're saying. I don't know. I think there's a bit of there's so much of a difference between someone standing up and having an educated and valid view than good morning, Mandy, how are you? Than to just having someone yell their opinion hoping to get heard. Okay, so big difference. All right. Now, what else was there? Okay, so Now, so like I said, it's a big day today, so there's just lots and lots of stuff, but at least it starts gently. It starts with you contemplating and then getting to the point where you're like, hang on a minute, I'm not comfortable being in this box. And then you get to the point where you're like, hang on a minute, I'm going to stand up and voice my opinion. But remember, Jupiter is in Gemini, so use the wisdom of your thoughts, right? Don't use just that anger, because anger's just gonna, that's when the people that you're trying to talk to will push back, because then they get their toes stood on. It's not an educated narrative. All right. So, and then, yay, at 5:44, the sun moves into Leo. Ah, so we're going to be out of our down month, So tomorrow I'm going to go back online with social media. I've had my month of rest, and I don't know how you got through the month of Cancer. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing. I just chose it as my, all right, I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to, you know, do all the good things for myself and not feel like I'm too stretched or exposed, or, it's that the blanky month. Blanky month is over. All right. So tomorrow when we get it, so 5:44 this evening, sun moves into Leo, remembering that it is going to move straight into an opposition with Pluto. All right, so here's another reason why. I mean, it's an out of sign opposition right now. So we've got the 29th degree of Cancer. So perfect time to have a look back over the last month and see what are the realizations that you did make. How are they relevant to who you are now? And how are you going to transform them so that you've got that freedom of your own choosing in the future, that Aquarian nature, all right? So you don't want to be governed by Pluto anymore. You don't need, I mean, there's governing and then there's governments right now. And, I don't think that they're doing a great job. They might be trying as hard as they can, but they're definitely not looking at past history and learning from the lessons of our elders, that's for sure, because the same shit is happening. 5:44 p.m. All right, so yeah. Now that Pluto opposition is at 3:13 p.m. tomorrow. All right, so it's not instant, but it's in sign opposition. All right, so and another one. What at the beginning of this, I was saying that Saturn used to be the ruler of death because he rules time. All right, so and with this Pluto opposition, just be aware or sensitive to the fact that these topics might also be coming up. I guess I should have put a trigger warning in the beginning. I am a Scorpio through and through, so I mean I forget that people get triggered by certain words, so I'm sorry if you do. Um, but yeah, so I don't know about you, but I definitely feel more energized with Mars now in Gemini. I mean, obviously, I feel like I'm speaking quite articulate right now. I'm not like, but yeah, it's time for you to, like I said, take the blanket off, stand back up, do a little bit of I mean, I don't know, do some burpees. Do some burpees. Shake it off, and you now have some energy back, all right? You now can articulate things well. If you were feeling very resistant to speaking your mind, it only went in there yesterday morning at 6:43. So, allow Mars to, I don't know, have a coffee and get his vava voom back, and start speaking your words. My head is clear. I can say, yay! There we go. Look, we have a typical Aries here who is now back online. And that's how it's going to feel. So any of those Mars placements that were very like, Mars in Taurus, lounge lizard, all right? Loves gardening, doesn't really like sort of moving around too much. Can lift heavy things statically. Just think of those big bulls, all right? So now Mars is in Gemini. What's that? He's the runner, all right? So now Mars is going to be very athletic. He's going to be very willing to speak his mind now. But remember at the beginning I said he's either going to be a skilled negotiator or a shouty man. You've been pirouetting today. Oh my God, there we go. Yes, the sign of the dancer. There you go. So all of you, you're going to want to move now. So what's your jam? Do you like dancing, pirouetting, running, aerobics? It's going to be a very fast-paced, energetic. So Gemini is a mutable, so very changeable air sign. Okay, so get jumping, get your little mini trampolines out and jump for joy because that feels so much better. All right, let's draw a card because, like I said, there can still be some of the heavy emotions of the full moon, but the moon's in Aquarius, so we can detach from those heavy emotions. So let's feel it into this. What's the card that we need for today? There we go. There we go. Queen of Cups. When I had my eyes closed just then, I had an image of a multicolored umbrella turning in circles, and I know it's raining, but like most of you, you don't know why you see the things you see. So I just feel like that was a bit of joy back in. Even though it's raining, you can still find some colorful joy. And look at this, that Queen of Cups moments. Okay, so up until 1 p.m., we have that Sun trine Neptune where we can go within, we can meditate, we can reminisce on the last month of Cancer to see maybe you had some massive realizations about your own ancestry or patterns of behavior or any of that sort of stuff. Maybe this Saturn helped you put it into perspective, and here you are, you can create your own um, energy field here. And even that, maybe that's, look at all the red here. I know it's cups and it's water, but look how much red she's wearing. So maybe this is also an indication of that Mars coming back and just being able to, you know, emit those desires now. I mean, manifestation is nothing but a repetitive thought that you put out to the universe, so maybe this is that internal practice, the observation of the right thoughts to be putting out. Good morning, Jay. How are you? You be feeling better, Jay. Coming back online with Mars in Gemini. Hope you're healing well. By the way, so that's pretty much it, guys. In it kind of in the week ahead tonight at 6 p.m. There's a lot of things changing this week. So, like I said, we've got the sun moving into Leo this evening. So we've got that energetic shift. On Friday, we have Mercury moving into Gemini. Oh my God, how much is he still being a little bit tricky with his shadow this year and let's just bring the world down. So that was pretty fun. I hope nobody got I hope nobody got affected too badly by it. I just have to giggle. Good morning, Jen. How are you? Where are you now? The other day you were in Ireland. So yeah, and I mean, so tomorrow as well. Oh, that's really late, but we've got the moon moving into Pisces. So yeah, this week we see an Aquarian, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus moon. So physio is always good, Jay. You know that. Month of August, Lions portal coming up. Oh yeah, we've got that 8-8 portal. Feeling powerful. Yay, excellent. Oh, still in Ireland. Amazing. Good morning, Karen. How are you? All right, so this week's going to be a big week, guys. It's going to be an amazing week. It's just a lot of energy. And then it finishes with Chiron going retrograde. So all of the work that you've been doing, while we've been going through all of this and all of these realizations, Chiron's going to touch it all again. So just reinforce yourself as you do every day. Remember, I know in the group I talk a lot about creating your protection outfit, whether it's a bubble or whether it's a fabulous, sparkly one-piece suit. I don't know, whatever your jam is. It could be a tweed blazer. I don't know. Anyway, get those protection suits right in your mind so that when you need those boundaries or those energetic boundaries, you can just quickly pop in there and put your suit on and then go out into the world. Oh, Mandy, that's awesome. Oh, you're going to have a Taurus moon for the year. You're going to have the sun in Leo and a Taurus moon. So that's awesome. That's wanting to have, being dedicated to having fun and being comfortable. There we go. If you show up to one of the Tuesday or Friday at 9:30, and I can have a quick look at your chart. The link is always in that chat, Mandy. All right. Okay, ladies, thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So take care and just